many more ways?
You know what it is.
How many more ways are we going to take away from defenders being able to do their jobs? And like with the fines, we got running backs now that can't lower their shoulder to protect themselves. Like you can't tackle this way, you can't tackle that way. Like if we are moving to flag football, let's just say it. Like let's just come out and say it. Let's just do that. Let's just move it faster along. Let's not play this game, the song and dance. Like okay, we're going to take this out for the safety. We're going to take that out for the safety, but we're still going to play on Thursdays. We're going to play overseas on short sleep and bad. Like if we're going to do it, let's do it. And let's not like joke about it and lie about it and try and like make people think this or that. Like it does. I don't know, man. Like it's football. You got to get the guy on the ground. If you don't, you're going to get yelled at. It's a violent game. It's always been a violent game. You know what you're getting into when you decide to play the game. Like I don't know what you want. Like yeah, is there a chance you're getting hurt? Yes, that's football. Like, is a guy going to come across the line and chop my knees out from under me, and that's going to be perfectly legal? Yeah, guess what? I could get hurt on that. So if we're going to take this hip drop out and try and make defenders' jobs a little bit harder, maybe we stop having linemen wipe out my kneecaps. That'd be nice. I would appreciate that if I didn't have my kneecap wiped out all the time, too. Quarterbacks don't get to have their knees touched, but defensive linemen do. Like, there's just all sorts of stuff that I'm like, pick your poison. Like, are we going to make it safer or are we not? Whatever.
Yeah, for who? For who are we making it safe for, and for who are we making it dangerous for? And the funny thing would be, I don't think anybody's like running into a tackle. I might be wrong. You got all-time leading tackler for Green Bay there, Ring of Honor member for tackling people for the Houston Texans, and guy who played safety and nickel. I mean, corners aren't making many tackles, but you get it in there. Like, nobody's aiming to do the hip drop tackle. Like, when they're running, it's like, you know what? Okay.
No one knew what it was.
Hip drop
tackle. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's not a thing. What are you talking about? It's not a thing. It never was a thing. It's never been taught. Like, I think I've heard people say, like, oh, man, you can't be teaching this. What is there to teach? It's someone trying to do whatever they can to get a guy down. It's not a specific technique.
Yeah, but remember, when you watch videos of how to tackle, there's always that dummy there.
Yep.
You get your head out of the way.
Yep.
You wrap
They're
your
coming
arms.
straight on at you.
And
then
you run your feet.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay? So there's no reason ever. I've seen that video. That is how the dummy's tackled.
Perfect.
So there's no reason that you would ever have to potentially manipulate your body weight, which is what you're trying to do to get leverage to get the person on the ground, which is what you were tasked with doing in the sport. You know, it's like, it's just the way the conversation has just become like, that's a hip drop tackle there. As if somebody's just lining up like a suplex or something. It's not how it works at 20 miles an hour while people are flying around on it's wild. It's just a crazy conversation, Jake.
It's people trying to make rules that have never done it. Like you've never done it before. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Like, oh man! And then they bring in like I'm gonna say some things that get me.
Bring in what?
Here.
Bring in what? Bring in
what?
what?
Bring in some because like there's some. Then they point to former players and they're like, well, this guy's on the committee, so he said it. And I'm like, oh, well, all right. Like, game's different, man. The game's different now.
So JJ has some question marks about the people that are making some decisions potentially. And
on the committee.
Who are we? Who's the exact person?
I don't even know who decides those things. I have no idea. So I'm not even talking about one person or another. But I know they're gonna point to somebody and say, well, we asked this guy, and okay, so that guy, whatever. I mean,
it was the competition.
Same with the fines. We're like, well, it's run by former. Okay, well, so that guy knows everything. Then, all right, I guess we'll just listen to him.
What about J.J. Watt? Pretty good
game
football
checks
player.
Away from guys.
Anybody, hey, by the way, saw the kind of a victory lap. You should be.
A little bit.
You should be taking one.
A little bit. Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren got that game check back. And then what's his name? Breece Hall, the same day, just gets smoked for a full game check for a perfectly routine running back play. So win one, lose one.
Yeah, you're sticking your finger in the holes in the boat, and then one's popping up on another side. So we got to continue bringing attention to this, though, because I think it's a good thing. When loud with criticism, also must be loud with credit. Ooh, very, very admirable and noble of you, JJ. Touche for the appeal process working properly and this ridiculous fine being completely rescinded. Players, always appeal your fine. Amen. Even though they will tell you not to because your team will. They're not allowed to, but they're humans. They could potentially hold it against you. Upon appeal, Tom Pelissero reported the NFL has rescinded Jalen Warren's fine from this play per his agents, David Cantor, and it was like $48,000 or something for a young player in a game check. That's a lot of money, obviously. Yes. Anybody on earth understands that is a lot of money, and it was a very normal play that they just kind of were picking through film, but this, boom, bang, this, almost like an AI is finding when people's helmets like drop and not taking into consideration the moment or the situation at all. And it's been happening a lot this year. This tells me, though, that they understand that this may be getting out of control. Is that what you're seeing as well, JJ?
That's what I'm hoping. I also people that don't appeal their fines. I don't know what you're doing. Like, you appeal no matter what. If you're 100% wrong, appeal it. Like, at least take a shot. I mean, the ones we all know, the uniform fines. Like, if you're wearing pink shoes, you're going to get a fine. That's just going to happen every single time. Sure, you should still appeal it. Maybe you win, but like, those are the ones where people tweet me and they'll be like, "Hey, talk about this. This guy got fined just for wearing a different color shoes." And I'm like, "Well,
that's real.
I mean, that is pretty clearly defined. Like, you knew that was going to happen. Like, that's you said I'm going to pay $5,000 to wear pink shoes for this game. That's just what you told yourself."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. There's levels to this. You know, it's like, are things stupid that we don't agree with? Yes, but also, is there things that maybe the NFL abuses? Yes. And this whole finding of random standard plays that has been happening only this